Shalom. I want to give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Kadash. Step honors to my apostles and elders of great millstone. Salutation to the 144,130 elect of the nation of Israel. Your brother Kabash from the Jim Missionary Camp. And I'm here with the whole faith to find less to the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Kadash. In this lesson, I'm going to get into basically our rewards that we're going to get from Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai. Now, these people in the world, they're not going to go unscathed. The Lord's going to judge them too. Matter of fact, the Lord's already judging these people, putting them to death ultimately. It's the ultimate judgment that they're receiving. Now, some of us may be put to death, but we're going to rise with glory. We're going to get praise, and we're going to get a crown of life, and we're going to come back to the earth when the Lord comes back in Judgment Day. So we got it good, you know what I'm saying? But we're not going to die the death of these unbelievers, which pertain to our people. Now, the rest of the world, the Lord already have a judgment set in place for them. They are reserved for the wicked and the children of men. They're not going to receive the kingdom of heaven. You know what I'm saying? They're going to receive slavery, death, pestilence, famine, you name it. Going back into the topic that I have lined up, Revelation chapter 20, verse 12, that's what I'm going to get into, because the worst that we're doing right now, man, it's already going before Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, but it's going to be, the Lord's going to show this reward openly to the world, that we are his chosen, and that our works were good to him, and he's going to reward us in front of the world. This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great. Whether you are an important person or elite, you're a banker, or even going down to you just being a regular old 9-to-5 worker or a homeless person. That's what represents the small and great. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yahweh. And we all standing before the Lord. We all are standing before Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai as we speak. It says, and the books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And it says, which is the book of life. So these books is talking about the Bible. And the book of life is also talking about the Bible, which is also worded as the doctrine. Sirach chapter 19, verse 19 goes to that. So, how do we know that this saying is relevant? I just mentioned the books were open. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said the books are shown in the firmaments. What are the firmaments? It's talking about the way this technology is set up. You have satellite in the sky that brings down a connection to these devices, whether computer, laptop, tablet, etc., that we do these videos on, and we show these writings of the prophets, kings, priests, mainly the prophets. We showing it to the world, we're breaking it down, we're making it clear, we're declaring it, in particular to you Israelites, and also showing judgment to these other nations. So they go to show you that these books were open is literally talking about now. This is what John the Revelator saw. And he says, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yahweh. And it's not everybody standing before the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like in a single file line, or how you go to court. It's not like that particular case. It's literally talking about now. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you at, you can be on the other side of the globe, it's nighttime, or you can be on the other side of the globe where it's daytime. You can be poor, rich, like I said, small and great. No matter where you at, no matter what you're doing at this time, right now you're standing before the Lord. And you're being judged. We're being judged. And it says right here, and another book was open, which is the book of life, and the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. Let's go to Zechariah, this is the book of Zechariah, just to prove that these sayings are accurate. Now, this is the 2/3 being judged out of the books, whether they be small or whether they be great. This is Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, said the Lord, 2 parts therein should be cut off and die, but the third should be left therein. So the Lord already said 2/3 of Israel is going to die. They're going to be cut off by death. It's written in the books. And I will bring the third part through the fire. Who is the third part? It's talking about the remnant of Israel. And will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They should call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they should say, the Lord is my power. So we got the main two who this book belongs to, which is Israel, but you have an elect within the elect nation of all the nations on the earth. Because all nations are not chosen. That's what the word elect means, chosen. But you have the bad and the good in the chosen nation. 2/3 are going to be cut off. That's their reward. That's what it says in really all the books. 2 Esdras chapter 9 goes to that. How the Lord said they have shunned the low at its laws and rejected the liberty of the Lord, not repenting. And they're going to receive what? They're going to receive death. They're going to know it after death by pain. This is what's written in the book. We'll show you another book that talks about that very same scripture, Revelation chapter 20, verse 12. This is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth up for the children of thy people, and there should be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation to that same time. And that time, which is talking about Jacob's trouble, the last days, judgment day, and at that time thy people should be delivered. And why will Michael stand up at that time? If everybody can get along, or everybody in their mind thinking that the world is all, all good and everybody is joined together, that's a damn lie. You see World War III is happening. You see race wars is happening or have happened in history. And it's going to happen this time. It's just going to morph into something very major. Then you got Jacob's trouble. All of that is going to be all at one. The world is preparing for it. And guess what? We're going to need divine power to save us. Not 911. Not our guns. Well, people may have guns, believe in guns. Guns ain't going to save you. Jesus Christ ain't going to save you. Yahweh Shai is, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. He's going to save us. And his hosts, his armies. And one of the top angels in his armies is Michael, the archangel, which I'm reading about right now. It says, and at that time, thy people should be delivered. Everyone that should be written in the book. What book? This book. The book of life, which is this Bible. It says, verse 2, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life. See, and that's going into 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Some of us that die is going to rise up to everlasting life, get the crown of life, and we're going to rule the world with the Lord and Savior, because this earth is not going to be destroyed. It's just going to be taken over under new management. And it's not really a new management. The word new just means refresh. Really, the true owners that have the titles and the deeds of this planet Earth and everything in it is coming back to really own it again. So right here in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. Neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We should not all sleep, but we should all be changed. So we should not all die. That's what sleep means. Because remember when Yahushua went to the girl that was real sick, and everybody said that she died, but the Lord said she was asleep. She did die, but that's another word for sleep, meaning that rest. She went to paradise. She went to the spirit world. The Lord brought her back, and it says but we shall all be changed. Changed what? Into those incorruptible bodies, into God's. That's going to have everlasting life, immortals. Verse 52. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, and some of us that don't die, we're going to be changed in the twinkling of an eye into those immortals or gods. At the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we should be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortal. So we must put on immortality. This is a commandment that's going to take place real soon. So going back to Daniel chapter 12, verse 2, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, some to shame and everlasting contempt. So even those that die, they're going to be risen back up, and they're going, like I just mentioned, 2 Esdras chapter 9, verse 11, some is going to rise back up to shame and contempt. Israelites that died and didn't believe in the Lord or done wicked works, they're going to wake up to everlasting shame and contempt. Then you're going to have a lot of, Israelites' enemies. They're going to wake up on Judgment Day out of their graves, and they're going to be put in the lake of fire. It says death was thrown into hell. Hell and death was thrown into the lake of fire. Hell is talking about the system. George Washington that had our people in slavery, or Thomas Jefferson, or John Quincy Adams, or John Quincy Adams, or I hope I got that president name right. But they're going to be thrown in the lake of fire. They got their grave marks and grave sites over here. All the soldiers over here in America, they're going to raise up out of their graves, and they're going to go into the lake of fire. That's how weird out the Lord is. So it behooves you, or it should really be taken serious about your salvation, not this world. And they that be wise, which is talking about the hopefully elect, starting with the 144,000, should shine as the brightness of the firmament. And the firmament is the sky. You see how bright the sky is. And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Yeah. It's going to be a new celebrities in the future. And it's talking about us. So going back to Revelation chapter 20, verse 12, it reads, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before Yahweh, and the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life, which is this book, this Bible. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. So we're saying that right now. Every day when you wake up, every waking moment, you're standing before the Lord. Just know that. It's not when you die and go to heaven and stand before the Lord, waiting this long line until your turn. No, it's talking about now. And it says, verse 13, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and the death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged, every man according to their works. Right, like I said, a lot of people that have died already, they're going to raise back up in that day if they ain't chosen, and they're going to be burned in the lake of fire, which is those nuclear missiles. Verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Yeah, the second death that Peter mentions. 2 Peter chapter 3 goes into that. About the first death being the flood, the second death being the lake of fire. It says, verse 14, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. The lake of fire, because the terminology that our forefathers, which are the prophets, had at the time, is not written in the terminology that we have today, which is the English, which, this was revised anyway into a whole nother language, which is the English language, the Old English, doing King James and whatnot. Then you had Ptolemy II, you had the Hebrew converted to the Greeks, Conan Greek language, the Septuagints. Then you have, the Paleo-Hebrew, which our forefathers spoke. So that lake of fire is talking about the terminology that we use today, which is the nuclear missiles, the ICBM, the fire that's going to come out of those, that's going to cause this mass destruction, especially over here in Babylon the Great. That's written about in Revelation chapter 18. It talks about the lake of fire and details in that chapter, how Babylon the Great is fallen, it's destroyed. So, that's all I had on this. Hopefully this lesson was edifying. Today, I'm going to say shalom.